Hi, my name is Genndy Tartakovsky, and I'm the director of Hotel Transylvania 3. And I'm going to talk about how to design a character, especially one as complex and funny as our Count Dracula. So we know that Dracula sleeps in coffins, right? So we thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun? We could make his head shaped like a coffin. And so we started to do drawings of a little bit more coffin shaped. It took us a few weeks to do all the different iterations and different, we made them shorter, fatter, thinner, longer, taller, everything until we kind of got the right feeling, But basically, that's kind of how it started, right? And then for his body, we knew also that we want to make the cape a character in its own way. And so we started to build this cape. And as we continued to build the cape, it started to really take form as his body language would express what he's feeling, right? So if he's confident and kind of heroic, we would close the cape, and there you would feel the confident and heroic Drac. Basically on his gesture, the way you stand up, right? When you're sad, you slump down, right? So that's the same thing. So then we would do a slumpy, sad Drac. And even before me drawing in the face, you could tell that he's sad just because of the posture. And all that does, it really helps us in animation. Because in animation, it's all about, especially in the Hotel Transylvania style of animation, which is very cartoony and exaggerated, when somebody points, we get the great silhouette on Dracula, and you get to really feel it. And then, of course, like I would do a drawing like this for the animators, and then the animators would go into the computer, and they would manipulate kind of our Dracula puppet into following this pose. And then we'd animate from there. That's kind of the basics of designing a character. You kind of hear what he sounds like, then you go to the simplest form of what you think represents that character, and then you kind of start building on top of it with all the extra details and finesse that'll define who that character is. So animating is really fun. I think probably everybody at one point has tried to take your textbook or any kind of book or something, and you draw like a stick figure running or fighting or something. And the process and the way animation is done is exactly like that. It's one drawing over another drawing, and it's a little bit different, and it creates the illusion of the movement, right? So when we have Hotel Transylvania animation, it's very specific, because what we like is we like big, exaggerated, funny type of animation. And it really starts from the drawing, or from, like I still call it drawing even though we have a CG model, right? Like basically a puppet of, let's say, Dracula in the computer. Like he's kind of standing like this, and to put him in a pose, the computer grabs a point, and then he kind of moves it up, and then he moves it up and moves it up, and then all of a sudden you have a point. The fun of our animation is we really put these really big, fun, exaggerated poses, and what's in between them is sometimes very surprising. Let's say he's going from this pose, we'll do a big, exaggerated, kind of goofy, sometimes it's how many funny drawings can we do? And again, I'm working very quickly in gesture forms, because that's kind of the language of animation, because it all goes through so quick, you just get to feel the motion. So he'll do this big gesture, right? So we could see him. And then he sees something off camera, right? And so he does a kind of a big take, right? And sometimes what's in between these two frames or poses is the fun part. And because with our style of animation, it could be very exaggerated, right? So in between, sometimes there could be a drawing that's only maybe 1 or 2 frames on the screen, but he'll have like 5 eyes and 2 noses, right? And maybe even 3 arms. So we get this amazingly goofy looking pose, but it totally works in between. And that's kind of the fun of animation, is we get to do, for our movie, for our style, is we get to do this really creative exploration of what's in between the main poses that you really feel, and all the exaggeration makes it even more special and unique to us. So thank you.